we have Melanie Galea. Did I say it right, Melanie? I blew it again. Galea.
Galea.
Jeez, yeah. I told you I wouldn't get it. Oh, man. You guys, if you know me at all, you know I'm terrible at names, and I am so sorry for butchering it, even though she tried to coach me through it. You can tell I'm just an idiot in that realm. But very good at mortgages, just not good at pronouncing people's last names. But Melanie is an agent up in Fort McMurray, Canada, and they have about 61,000 population there, and she's really taken over that platform. If you YouTube or if you do anything about Fort McMurray, you're going to find her information. And so I highly recommend you do, and we'll send you some links to her stuff afterwards. And then Kevin Andrews is our best BombBomb person out there, and he works for BombBomb, and we use BombBomb video. We started using it, I'd say, maybe 2 years ago, and we have it really integrated into a lot of our things. It's super easy to use. It's super helpful for our clients. We can see who's monitoring. So him and Melanie are going to kind of tag team. I think Melanie's going to start here, but Kevin also will be telling us. He knows a lot of the technical stuff that I certainly don't know, and I'm learning constantly. So he always has pointers and is always there to help all of us. So if you do have questions, remember to put them in the chat, as we really do want to help you guys grow your video presence, because it is such an important thing to have a video presence. And I'm sure Kevin and Melanie will talk about that, but it's really made a difference in their businesses. And I know it makes a difference in mine, because people will be like, oh, I saw your video. And I'll be like, wow, okay. So it really does help people get to know you. So Melanie, would you like to kind of start and tell us your journey through this? Because you definitely have a huge presence everywhere in social media.
Yeah, in Fort McMurray, I definitely do. I started doing video in 2013 after I went to a RE/MAX conference, and the two guys one guy most in particular, Michael Thorne, has been an amazing mentor to me. Kevin, you'll know that name. Mm-hmm. I happened to be lucky enough, like that was a historic moment for RE/MAX, for video, for realtors. Wow. Even though people had no idea at that time. Michael has become an absolutely phenomenal, what's the right word? Kevin, what word would you use to describe Michael? Like, he's a visionary. He is the giver. Like, you think I'm a giver? This guy's off the charts. Like, and then he's partnered up with Jesse Peters out of Winnipeg. So Vancouver and Winnipeg, which is in Canada. But I made the decision to do it, and that's how your video journey starts. It's just that simple. It's deciding to do it. Doesn't mean you have it all worked out. Just means you're going to decide to do it. The next thing that I would do is I would schedule time that is absolutely unmessable with. Wednesday nights is ladies' night golf for Melanie Galea. No one wants me working during ladies' night golf. It's not happening. Make that time unmessable with for yourself, whether it's just to learn or I mean, really, you already have the equipment. Really, you truly don't need any. Well, actually, this is the only other thing that I ask you to get, and it's a stabilizer, and it's about 200, maybe 200. How much is it in the States?
You know what? I can tell you in just a sec. I know exactly how much it is.
So this is
just on the website, but I don't remember the cost of it. So that's the DS.
This is the DJI Osmo. Okay, so this is how easy it is. Oh, I've got my case on. That's why it's not being. Anyways, I'm just going to talk through this as I set it up, just to show you what I do, because it's this simple, right? And so one of the things, so you're deciding to do it. That's the first thing. The second thing after that is scheduling it.
And why is that one so important as opposed to like a little tripod or something like that that would just hold it as well?
You know what? Because it's a stabilizer, right? Then you can walk and talk. You can do the same. You can totally use a stabilizer.
You can't walk and talk with a tripod, obviously. So the stabilizer helps you walk through the open houses, which Melanie is awesome at open houses, and that I'm sure she'll talk about. But that would be the reason you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead all into that, but first I'm gonna start with like so you've got your two pieces of equipment, right? And if you don't have the budget for it right now, then you just do it stably and figure out how to do that. But there's so many inexpensive options out there on what to do and what to use. So
Okay.
then when you're starting to do video, the greatest quote I heard was at the BombBomb Rehumanize conference. And Kevin, I assume you were there. Were you there?
I actually wasn't. I was in sales at the time, so I was still hammering the phones. But yeah, I've watched every presentation. I've seen it all at this point. But yeah, I missed you. I'm jealous that you got to be there.
Oh, it was so great. And I pray to God that they're able to have the conference again, because that blew my mind. It was a conversation of, oh, not you should do video. We're all doing video. We're geeking out in a 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 conversation. And Angie said this. She said that you don't just do it. It's not that. You got to work through it. And it was a kinder, more gentler way to say it, is you got to work through it. You should add that to your slides, Kevin, because it's like, and quote her, right? Like, find that moment she was on stage, get a still frame of it, because it's probably one of the most important, one of the quotes I use the most to help people. And it's one step at a time, and it's making that decision to keep deciding to do it, not knowing how, asking for help. And so one of the things is that there's a Facebook group called RE, what's it called? RE Nation? It's not, what do they call it? Give me a second here. It's on Facebook, and my groups, hold on. There's one for just Remax called Remax Play, and then there's another one just for realtors, and I want to say that it's like, oh, I'll come back with it. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy that they can't find it. But I think it's called RE Video and there's lots of different groups out there, right? And so if you're having problems, you just throw your question in the group, and amazing people will pipe up and give you feedback. But it's a really safe space in the group that they created, because that's probably one of the most important things, is that safe space of constructive criticism. So now that you are deciding to do video, I think what surprised me is thank you for finding that. In the chat, Katie's got the chat of the Facebook group. Definitely join that group, because you're going to learn so much. And there's great people in that group to help mentor you. Michael Thorne was one of those people for me early on. And you're so lucky, because you're so much, it's going to be so much easier for you, because there's so much more help out there and a lot more people doing it. And you don't need to get intimidated. Like, listen, Raj Kazar out of California, he's killing it. He's got unbelievable videos, but he's also selling multi-million-dollar houses. And so he can spend $20,000, $30,000 on a video shoot, right? So I'm not doing that. I don't have that. And so there's a really great way to get started, and that can work for you. So about 3 years ago now, I think maybe I'm coming in my 4th year, 3 years for sure, I decided I wanted to golf Saturday mornings. I was golfing with the girls, learning how to play better. I didn't want to do any more open houses because it was interfering with my golf schedule. I absolutely hate doing open houses. I just feel like for myself that they're a waste of time. And then after that, I decided to start doing these live open houses. And I started doing them on Facebook, and every single week I've been doing a live open house. And again, that's my unmessable schedule with. That's what I'm doing every single week. So if you don't have a lot of money and you're just starting out as an agent, there's your video tour. Right?
I loved your 20 points that Katie shared with me, because it kind of gave about the video. You guys, she's really great about doing these open house videos, because I know if I was a realtor every Saturday, that would be really hard to be away from my family and friends and, want to go out and do that. And so it was a way that we could really see the houses, and she gives tons of pointers on that, of how to put it on Instagram and all these other places, because she's a giver. So she's giving you all the tips how to do it. And it was really helpful too, because you could go back to it and like show the bedroom, like you said. And I just was so impressed by how much open houses you're still doing, because you're still, and now in today's COVID, we can't do open houses here in California. So we are kind of, you guys are put on that ability to be able to do these and really get good at them. So it's such a cool opportunity time, I think, now to really get your video skills up, because you sort of have to.
I couldn't agree with that more, right? You're probably already in front of people, whether you want to be doing video or not. You have to. You don't, I don't have a bag in my head, but like imagine walking into a listing appointment with a bag over your head. Like you're not going to do it, right? People are worried about what they look like. You like, they're gonna see you. Right? They're gonna see you. Like I purposely didn't fix my hair and doll myself up perfectly, because this is exactly what I would do in a live open house. In the winter, sometimes I got a toque on, it's freezing. That is a beanie in American. Okay?
I was like, what's a toque again? Oh yeah, it's a hat. I had to think about that.
Yeah, oh. So
that's awesome.
I can tease you guys every once in a while. So I like working smarter, not harder. And I watched this video by, or it was actually a slide deck, an 88 slide deck by Gary Vaynerchuk. And he talked about using how out of an hour talk, he comes up with 30 pieces of content. And I was like, well, I can't do that. But what can I do? And that's when I realized how I could leverage what I was doing with the live open houses, from marketing it to reusing it to using it on different platforms. So, and then Instagram started, Instagram stories started. And so we started doing lives on Instagram as well. So two videos that I do on Facebook, I do Facebook first, and then I have to do Instagram separate. It's just we've tried two stabilizers doing them. My assistant can't, it's just, the videos need the purity and the purity of your focus. I'll say that, the purity of your focus.
Yeah, it is amazing to me how different the Facebook is from Instagram. It really is a different platform.
Yes, it is. And so the other thing that you need to remember is that Facebook and YouTube are not friends. They're maybe frenemies, I would say. So you want to be able to reuse those videos up on YouTube later, which can then become the link to the realtor.com. So there's lots of different things that you can be doing very inexpensively. In that tutorial, it's 14 minutes. It's worth it. Take the time, stop it, play it, stop it, play it. I do make
Katie put it in the chat to everybody, so you guys should all see it. 20 pieces of content for Facebook and Instagram.
So the other video, Katie, if you can pop in there, is the one on how to do the virtual tours using BombBomb. So one of the other things is that, I was starting to do this before COVID hit, but I really I like being efficient. I like being the best at what I do. And so one of the ways that I use the videos is, let's say somebody, well, first of all, for you guys, I'm not sure, well, if you're not having any open houses, you're probably a good 6 weeks behind us at this point, because we're allowed to have them, but only like one family in at a time. So anyways, how do you get people through your houses then, right? So I was starting to think, like, how can I use BombBomb? I'm already using this. I use this as I use a landing page to give people a teaser information. So how else can I use BombBomb? So the other tutorial is how to use virtual tours with BombBomb. So in that, I've got my video tour, which is, that's I call that, the speed dating video. The next, the walkthrough tour is like the second date kind of thing. And then, so the 360 tour is the third date, the floor plan is the fourth date, and somebody can go and see the house 20 times again after they've seen it in their home, right? And so what we were doing before COVID, we were asking agents to show their clients to make sure that they wanted to see these homes for sure. And so now I'm able to use, so what's really cool is that with every single email you create inside BombBomb, now this isn't with the extensions on Gmail, but when you create it, you get a URL. So you get a website link to every single email that you create, which then you can put it in. So I've used those on LinkedIn. I put them on Facebook. You know, like I could just reuse and reuse and reuse with what I really already have. And it's so easy to do.
Hey, Melanie, can we, before you jump too much further, can we give a quick plug on maybe what BombBomb is? Because I know not everybody on this call may totally know.
Oh, that's a good point, Katie Shive.
Because we know YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, but for anybody that's not familiar, Kevin, if you could tell us really.
No, I think that's great. And then what I'll do in the meantime is I'll find one of my video tours so that they can see exactly what it looks like. I'll screen share. So Kevin,
Cool.
you should tell people what BombBomb is. I just assumed everybody knew.
You mean BombBomb just isn't self-explanatory? It doesn't just scream what the company's about? We get questions about that constantly. I've been at BombBomb for 4 years now, and it's always a question, where did the name come from? Where did the name come from? So
I've heard that story. It's a good story.
oh, it's really silly. Like, it's just a silly story. And if you knew our CEO, Connor, it makes a lot of sense. But to kind of answer you, really what BombBomb is designed to do is to take all of the mess out of recording and sending videos so that you don't get lost in that, right? That's like a very simplified form. There's a lot of things that we can do. But one of the things that we hear constantly is, I'd love to do videos, I just don't know how, or I just don't know the process, or I'm not smart enough to do it, right? I mean, we hear these kind of things constantly, and that's really where the idea of BombBomb came from. Our CEO is actually selling billboard ad space. And he recorded a video and built a way to send that video to his clients to try to sell more billboard space. He got emails back from every single one. None of them were about the billboard space. It was all about, how the heck did you send that video? How did you do that? And that's really kind of where the heart of it came from. And so we do a lot of different things. Like Melanie has mentioned a handful of times. I mean, this is going to be your best friend. The beautiful thing about these nowadays is that every new one has the new greatest camera you've ever seen in your entire life, right? You can shoot amazing quality stuff on your phone. I'm sitting here, I've got like an external camera that I bought. It was $65 or something like that. And now I'm shooting in 1080p high def on my computer, right? We have access to these sort of things where you don't have to go break the bank. And so I think this is such an interesting conversation. I love that Melanie brought up the Osmo. That thing is so cool. That stabilizer really takes your videos to the next level. I've actually done a video with the Osmo, like in a full out sprint, and you can't tell. Other than things moving really fast, it's so stable and it's so smooth. It's awesome. I don't know why you would be sprinting during most of your videos, but it was just kind of a curiosity thing for me. So I think that's the great thing about BombBomb is from a technical standpoint, we make life easy. We work in Gmail. We work with your mobile app. We've got a really cool Chrome extension if you use the Chrome web browser. We integrate with tons of different CRMs and tons of different places. We want to make sure that you're able to record and send and that it doesn't slow your daily process down. And then we do all the technical stuff. We host the video for you. We help create a nice animated preview so that it shows up in the email really well, right? It's not about just doing video to do video. This is a big thing I've been on. I guess it's already almost August, which is insane. But this year, a huge thing I've been on is don't just do stuff to check boxes, right? Don't just do it to say that it's done. Do it so that you're taking a big step, so that you're trying to reach your goal, so that you're doing it to be more effective. I don't want you to look at your email and be like, I've got to video every single email for the rest of my life. No, of course not. You're still going to type a heck of a lot of emails. But if you can ask yourself that question, would this be more effective if I was face-to-face with this person? Or could I convey this message more clearly if I was able to talk them through it? Those are those opportunities. And I'm sure, Melanie, you can speak to a ton of those in your day-to-day stuff of where video is just so effective and it builds that relationship. I think, so I used to work in real estate. I was a realtor myself before I came to BombBomb. And I was doing property management and all that. So hence why I'm not doing it anymore. I realized that really, if you simplify real estate down to its simplest form, it's how quickly can I establish relationships and how well can I maintain them? And that really, I mean, of course you need the contract knowledge and all those things that are not easy. I'm not trying to diminish those, but if you can do a good job of staying in front of people and maintaining relationships, you can work through all that other stuff. But it's hard. It's hard to stay in front of people on a consistent basis. So I'll hand it back to Melanie. I could talk for days about what we do, but just think about us as a really simple platform to take care of all the technical stuff so that all you have to do is record, choose how you want to send it, and it's a piece of the cake, whether it's social media, whether it's text messaging, whether it's email, you can do all that through the system really seamlessly.
I'm curious in the chat if everybody could say if they've used BombBomb or if they've been exposed to BombBomb. I know I use BombBomb a lot, and we just started using it for like our closing calls, because instead of calling clients, we've been putting it out there on our video, and the response has been amazing. Like people are like, oh, I mean, it's just so much different than just like I was always calling them, but I wouldn't get hold of both people. I would get hold of one of them, and so it's been really fun. It's been really great to do it that way. So I love it.
How neat is that you actually said it's been really fun, right?
Yeah.
I think that's something I'm realizing. When I wake up in the morning and go check my email, I'm not like super excited to go check my email. That's not something that's like, hooray, I get to go do this, right? What if we were able to actually make that an enjoyable thing? What if they got excited to open our emails? I mean, that's just a whole different perspective on our communication. And with COVID and all that stuff, you know, Melanie's mentioned it a couple of times, that's changing life for probably the long future coming up. I mean, there's no signs that that's going away completely anytime soon. So we've got to start being really creative. How do we communicate with people? If I can't do an open house where I'm face-to-face with 10, 15 people, how do I get face-to-face with these people? How do I allow them to get to know me and get the value of the home? So I love that, Melanie, you're getting creative. I think that's such an important thing right now, is get creative with this stuff. How can I still have the same effect, but do it in a unique way? And of course,
and for a plug on the back end, because Katie and I, you know, are doing a lot more video as well, like you said. And, you know, the things that we love about BombBomb is they have a mobile app. So we're always on the go. It takes 2 seconds. I can send, you know, Katie a message. Hey, you know, we just talked to this client. Can you send them a video? She literally can be anywhere in the country or out of the country for that matter, and send a video, and it goes to them. The other thing I love that Kevin said is it pairs with your database. So you can go in and create lists and say, you know, clients in progress or past clients, Christmas list, birthdays in May, whatever. And then you can literally go create a quick video and send it to 100 people, or you can send it to one. So it makes it so easy. So that's my plan.
Well, a neat extension of that too, I was thinking, Melanie, when you were talking about your virtual home tours and those sort of things, with BombBomb, one of the pieces from a technical standpoint we do is we host those videos. So just like a YouTube or any other site where they like literally hold that video so that you can deliver it, we do the same thing. Melanie, I think I was looking it up. You've got what, 1,300 videos in your account or something like that?
Oh, do I?
Yeah, it's a lot. So I was impressed. You're in the upper echelon for sure. But
Well,
she's
I use it.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that space. You don't have to worry about, shoot, do I need to delete old videos? No, we will host those forever. And what's nice about that is you can upload your virtual home tours. That way, if anybody's like, hey, I was really curious about this home, great, grab it, send it to them. They don't all have to be, we promote personal video a lot, but they don't have to be. There's really great, just practical ease of use stuff where now I can send you a video rather than try to describe it in 6 paragraphs, right? Or rather than send you 55 pictures so that you can click through the home. I mean, it's such a great way to just not only make life easier for you and save you time, but make it easier on the client. Allow them to watch a 5-minute video and have a really good idea of what this home is and if it's right for them to go see or not, right?
And the client can respond to you via video as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, that rarely happens, but yes, they can. I'd like to show you guys what I've got.
Let me make you a co-host just a second.
I think she can share. I did multiple shares. So.
Yeah, I can see. All right, share. Okay, so you can see here. Can you guys hear me? Okay. I'm good. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is one of the what do you call it? This is my virtual tour, okay? So this here, so on YouTube, I take the time to create thumbnails, and that's why this is so pretty, because if not, you kind of get that random face where it's like, Kevin, do a face, do a pause, weird face for me, because I can't see my face right now, maybe. Yeah, like that, right? So then I put the listing details as like a little bit of a teaser, or my write-up, my contact info, and then this here is the live walkthrough tour. So I make sure that they look different the thumbnails look different so that they realize it's a different property. And then I throw in the floor plans. Now here is the click for the 360 tour. So this will take them now to the 360 tour of this beautiful, beautiful home. Yes, that's snow. Unfortunately, this listing hasn't sold. Our market is a little bit challenged right now, and anything over 600, it's taken a long time to, and so anything over 9 is like 1 sale so far this year. But then I throw in the pictures, right? Like, so that people can really see what this home looks like. So I've got 5 things to show people, right? My clients feel like I'm doing more with them. Now here's the juicy part. You guys ready?
Ready.
Couple things. I can track, I can see who's been opening this baby and how many times. Oh, we've only sent it once from BombBomb directly, but I've been using that. So this is the owner. So they checked it out, which was cool. Go back to where I was.
I just see Fuzzy Bunny as an email right there.
You did, and I don't let her live it down. She's had it since she was young, so you gotta love those, right? I know.
You learn a lot about people when you learn their email address.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so here's some other cool stuff. Now you can copy the link. You're able to text message this to people, right? So there's another really cool piece of technology. Like I literally keep a page. Let me just show you here. Dun, dun, dun. What am I looking for? Sheets. I keep a list of my virtual tours. So I just need to go to this. Oh, you want to see the house? Okay, let me just send this to you. And then boom, it's there, right? So it's really cool that we can do that. And then you can put that on Facebook. You can put it on Twitter. You can put it on LinkedIn. So I put that link in there. Now, just a couple other things that I do. So I'll use this as a preview to agents, other ideas for BombBomb and staying in communication with them or with your clients. Monthly, I do a monthly seller update. So I will do sorry if this is making anybody dizzy. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna play this for you so that you can see. It's a super short video. Oh, preview.
June 2020 single family home stats, the 3 things you need to know. Number 3, there has been steady inventory for the last 4 months. Number 2, we've had the highest amount of sales in 1 month across the city since June 2018. And number 1, we are in a balanced market with 4 months of inventory. That's fantastic. So if you are thinking about selling your home, please reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you to make sure that it gets listed right, because I go beyond the lawn sign with a customized video, a live open house video, 360 tours, floor plans, and professional photos, and your own website for your listing. If you've got questions about the market, get registered for FortMcMurrayStats.com, and every month I'll provide you an update. I'm Melanie Galea with Remax Fort McMurray, passionately going beyond the lawn sign.
I filmed that with my iPhone. I didn't have a microphone. You can tell, but it's not perfect. My hair's not perfect. It's not perfect, right? And then I send my clients statistical information every single month, right? And so this goes out monthly to my clients for stuff that they need. So it's just, I keep a detail. I'm really anal about statistics. It's my jam. I just feel really passionately when you know it better than anybody else. So if you're looking for things to talk about, talk about the things you know. I started a thing called Discover Fort McMurray, where I interview local businesses, and I talk about the local store or the local hidden gem, or there's a park or whatever. What do people want to know? It's been really interesting. Fort McMurray has been hit hard by natural disaster in the last 4 years. And we had a huge fire that evacuated our city of 88,000 people at the time. And no one died, thankfully, but we were gone from Fort Mac for a month. So, and then just this spring, we had a flood downtown that really affected a lot of businesses and homes. So one of the things that I did is I went around, because people were there was 3 grocery stores downtown that people couldn't go to, actually 4. So people were kind of freaking out about where's food, where's water, because we landed up going on a water boil advisory. So I went to all the different grocery stores, and just to say, they have tons of water. You don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to pay stupid prices. You don't need to do any of that stuff. There's food. They have stuff coming up weekly. So, you know, like, don't worry. Don't panic, you know? So, and I had a couple of people reach out to me thinking that they had to drive. So the next biggest city is about 5 hours away, and that's in Edmonton. They thought they had to drive to Edmonton. And so, you know, if you can do something and provide value for people, I highly recommend it. Community content is so vital, because what I portray myself as is the shop local queen and self-imposed. So the Discover Fort McMurray stuff is my baby, and giving back, it's so vitally important. So the other cool thing is that I use websites. And then I have those, so that video that you just saw there, I have landing pages that I use through BombBomb, and then they automatically get that email from me then afterwards of that virtual tour if they want to sign up for. So then you can get leads for yourself. Kevin, can you talk about that?
Can I ask you one question? I just wanted to, like, if you guys haven't seen her videos and stuff, which I really recommend that 20 pieces of content, but you're really good. Like, I loved it. She's like in a store getting dressed, like the people in the store are helping dress her, and she's like kind of talking about the store. I mean, we have 2 new grocery stores in Truckee, and like, wouldn't that be interesting to have someone walk through? I'd probably even look at it, because I live in Tahoe City. I haven't been over to the new Rayleighs. I'd be interested. And I would think people from out of town would also be interested. So I just loved how you are like the person for Fort McMurray. She created a Facebook page with the chamber on that, and it just was really giving back, and it was really interesting to me. Like, it was more than just selling, and I know that's supposed to be a really important thing when we market, is to really be those people who, when they think Fort McMurray, they're thinking you, Melanie. They're, you know, and hopefully in Tahoe Lending, they're thinking of the Rice team and Katie, you know, they're thinking about us. But I don't do something like you do, and I just loved it, because you were really part of the community, and people could see that and feel that. So I think everybody, if they can look at that, would get a huge content. So just kudos to you again on that.
Thank you. There's a lot of great people out there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to come up with this all yourself. Find a good couple of people to follow, because you'll get ideas and how to brand it for your area, for you. Like, if you have a subdivision, that's your area, and you farm it. I don't do farm. Fort McMurray it's small. I'm pretty lucky that it's so small, but work it, right? Like, be the social mayor of that area.
I thought that was interesting. I saw an agent do that, like, just like you're saying, they went to one little area. They went to our Kings Beach area, because our area, we do have kind of diverse areas, and Tahoe is different. And so I thought it was really fascinating for a client to really be able to understand, because we get so many second homeowners. So another great point.
Yeah, I love that. Melanie, you're probably familiar. Kyle Whistle, he's actually an agent down in San Diego. He is the epitome of exactly what Melanie's been talking about here, of like, make yourself the digital mayor of your community. He started thinking about things that he loved to do outside of real estate, because he's like, I'm so sick of my people only hearing real estate from me. So he started doing exactly that, interviewing shops, going and setting up stuff with restaurants. He would even set up deals. Hey, if you come in and mention my name, the manager will give you a free dessert or something like that. And just posting stuff, building content. He started to become a reference for San Diego in general, not just real estate. I mean, he was getting millions of views on his YouTube videos because he was doing things he cared about, because he was doing things he liked. People want to see that. He even started an entire channel all about cooking. Has nothing to do with real estate, but he's got tens of millions of views on his cooking videos.
Wow.
And people know him, you know, for something.
He's a character.
And
Yeah.
then he's hilarious. Yeah. I think he started his Rehumanized talk with pouring a mimosa or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
In the morning, right?
Oh, totally did. He's got a ball cap on backwards with a mimosa. I'm like, this is so his video. He has a videographer, so he's chosen to hire someone, Brian Kochi, who's fantastic, talented. Someone else to watch in Calgary is. Do you follow Brad? Oh my goodness, Brad. Oh, he's gonna. I can't believe I can't remember his last name. It's gonna come to me. Holy brain farting today.
I'll say yes.
Yeah, he's got glasses. You totally know who Brad is. Oh my goodness.
I probably do. Yeah,
his stuff is off the charts. Brad McCallum. He is amazing, this stuff. But I mean, you're gonna look at this as a newbie and get so like, don't be intimidated. Those two are crazy what they do, right? So, but branding has becomes part of your brand and who you are and how you do things. And so, you know, I have a consistency, you know, I think Kevin, you would talk about this too, like the consistency of brands and getting your face out there and just being willing to, you know what, I'm kind of willing to make a fool of myself sometimes, you know, like some of Discover Fort McMurray has wine video tips. I love wine and I love golf. So there's golf tips on one of the series, which was so fun to do. It was so much fun. So the blooper videos from those were very good.
Well, I think you just touched on something really important, Melanie, is like, Melanie has been doing this for a long time and she may sell herself short, but she really does go above and beyond with a lot of the stuff she's able to put together. I don't want you guys to think that it has to look like that, the first video that you ever sent. I'm sure, Melanie, you can say mine didn't, right?
Oh my God. My first videos I shot with a Samsung S3. But I even go back and I look and it's not as horrible as I thought that it was. But yes, there was crying and editing. It took me a week to do it. I was super frustrated, but you can pay people. There wasn't Fiverr then, right? Like you shoot it, you can get people to edit it for you, right? But sometimes off the cuff and sometimes that's good. Sometimes good is good enough, right? Like I don't make everything perfect. That's the very first thing. You will get stuck and don't let the perfectionists, who are you? I want a raised hand for the perfectionists in the group, right? It does not need to be perfect. It just, people care about how you make them feel. That is the most important thing that I can say is that people care about how you make them feel. They don't care about how you look. You don't care about how your dentist looks. You still you're opening your mouth. You like, obviously you care about how your hairdresser looks, but you know, that's a whole other thing, right? But you care about how people care for you. And so sometimes I will probably say that I probably repel some people, and I'm glad because I don't want to waste my time with working with people that don't want to work with me. And I also want to attract more people that do want to work with me. So here's the other thing. If you have a city, so Tahoe to me is I saw a thing on 2020 or something that your lake isn't as crystal clear as it used to be. And there's a lot of, there's environmental changes that's happening to Lake Tahoe. I saw in the news, I just happened to see it. You have millions of people that go there every year. And they're going to be Googling stuff. And maybe it's not this person, but I did have someone that was moving to Fort McMurray find my videos and on Discover Fort McMurray. And she loved that I'm such a champion. She chose me as my agent, as their agent because of Discover Fort McMurray, which is like that for me, that was worth every single thing that I've ever done. And the other piece is that, what was my other piece I was going to say about that? Oh, schools, doing schools. So I just had clients that I've done a couple of walkthroughs through the schools and it's crazy some of the stuff like this that is here. I want to go back to high school.
Yeah, I think
no one ever but me when I'm older and seeing all this stuff. Like, so we live in a community and the schools here are like, the stuff that they have, it's unbelievable. So I did a walkthrough and now the kids are excited about coming to school here because they see the amenities. They got to meet the principal. They got to meet, like, that is bringing value. That video is going to make a young man excited about moving to a new city who might be nervous. So the one thing's going to happen. You're never going to know how far reaching that your video has become, but all I can encourage you to do is schedule it. And it's not that hard. Like, really, it's this. Okay.
I love that you're talking about time blocking and scheduling and that sort of stuff. You guys have so many things to do as realtors. It is so easy to forget one thing or prioritize this over that or something like that. And so I think that ease of use is a really good point, right? They don't have, you know what? I'm actually going to share my screen. I want to show you guys an example. And you'll crack up, Melanie, because this is Jesse.
I love this video.
But so we coach all the time for real estate. Real estate's our #1 industry that we work with at BombBomb. So we feel pretty knowledgeable about that. And so one of the videos that we coach to is lead response stuff, right? When a new lead comes in, how do you differentiate? How do you get people to know you more quickly? The reason I want to show you guys this one is because it really goes to that imperfection, that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to go how you planned for it to still be a really impactful video. So watch this, and then I'll kind of talk you through a little bit of the story that was around this as well.
Hey there, Carmelo. How you doing? Jesse Peters here. Hope all is well.
Oh, the sound.
We can't hear it.
Now we can't hear you.
No, yeah, we can't hear you.
Okay, let's try it this time. Let's see if it works. Oh my goodness.
Hey there, Carmelo. How you doing? Jesse Peters here. Hope all is well. Just wanted to touch base with you. Say yes, I would love to have the opportunity to meet you guys, talk about the housing market over in the River Heights area, and see what your options are for summer if you're looking at putting your house on the market. Obviously, just out with my daughter right now before it starts to rain. So I will be available later tonight. You can reply to this. You can reply to this email, and I'll be more than happy to set up a time for
I love it because he just did it, right? We have this saying that a lot of us use at BombBomb. It's way better to be done than perfect. It's so much better to have it to the person. And this is a perfect one of those examples. When we talked to him, he's like, no, of course I didn't want my daughter to poke her head in there. That was not part of my plan when I started recording this video. But he did it. He sent it. It's so human. It is so real. He is such a real person. And the person actually replied back on Facebook immediately, was like, your daughter's adorable. I'm bringing Bubbles to the meeting. Can't wait to see you there. Right? So the one thing he didn't want in the video was actually the thing that that person most connected to. Why? Because it was real. It was him. It's part of his story. So if that's schools, if that's restaurants, if that's you love golf like Melanie does, don't hide those things. I don't know. I'm a huge Brene Brown dork. I don't know if you guys know Brene Brown at all. Yeah. I don't read her books. I listen to her books, but she is so amazing when it comes to this sort of stuff. And she's got a quote all about how our realness, our humanity is actually what brings us together. And I think it's so true. We get so caught up on the, man, I hate this gap in my teeth, right? Or I hate these bags under my eyes when I smile. I mean, these are real things. Don't even get me started about if I rewatch a video and I hear my voice, I want to crawl in a corner and die because I cannot stand the way it sounds. We've all got that stuff. We've all got those insecurities. But what I've learned is those are actually the most connective things about me. Those are the things that make me real and human. And that's why people want to work with you, right? Melanie, you were saying this person picked me because of this. Jesse got that lead because his daughter poked her head in that video. I've got examples where a realtor would send a video and he had like his kids' pictures on the back wall. They picked him because that picture was there and it reminded them of their kids' pictures on the fridge. Had nothing to do with his real estate knowledge or expertise or anything. They were like, this is a real guy with a family. I like him. You never know. But if we don't get those pieces, if we don't get us in front of them, we don't give them that chance. And so I think that's why video is just so powerful. So I don't want you to get hung up on, I've got to do all this editing. I've got to have music in the background. It's got to be perfect. Jesse literally grabbed his phone at the park. I could show you 50 examples just like this that are so simple, so straightforward, so quick, and they're making differences. They're getting people business. They're building rapport with these clients, and that's why people are choosing them as realtors. So just keep that in mind. You can get as fancy as you want, or we can keep it as simple as we want. There's no right formula. It's what's right for you.
Kevin, do you know the stat of if people see you and, you know, like verbally, I think there's a stat, something about like 60% of conversation is the verbal, being able to see. I don't know what they call that.
Yeah, there are stats. I'll be honest with you. I don't agree with them 100%. Okay. I mean, the most common one that people hear is that 95% of communication is nonverbal. And that came from a study probably 25 or 30 years ago. I think there's holes in that study personally, as the more that I've read about it. But basically what they're saying is only about 5% of people learn completely audibly, right? Something we actually just did a webinar on this month was the learning styles, how people actually retain information. And the common ones are going to be audible, right? So listening. They say about 30% of people are pretty audible. About 60% of people are visual. So they learn so much more and retain so much more if they can see it. And then the third one is kinesthetic. So they like to touch and feel things as they do it. But what's so interesting is I was reading a bunch of quotes from doctors and things, and they were saying, yes, those are true, but nobody learns just by one, right? So if you just send an audio clip, we will get there, but it takes longer. Versus if we have audio and we're seeing you do it, we have our screen recorder, which we haven't even talked about that today, but we can give you the opportunity to help work where people are going to retain information much more clearly. So there's a lot of different stats, but basically the long and short of it is a lot of people communicate by visual, by seeing, by being able to register that sort of information. So that's where video can be very, very helpful.
Okay. Well, we're getting kind of close to the end. Is there could both of you give us like one thing you would say is the most important for everybody on this call? And if anyone has any questions, please let us know. We'll make sure that they both get those questions and we'll try to answer those. But is there one thing specifically to get us started as we leave this call today that you would suggest we do today? That we do to implement?
Schedule it. That's step one, right? You got to create it. So I'm just reading Atomic Habits. You have to create a system for it. That's probably the second thing, is by creating a system for it. You have a system for how you deal with deals, whether it's a buyer or a seller, or I hope you do. Have a system. Create a system, because that's how it's going to get met, and then keep putting it in your schedule. And Canva is becoming really, really cool and very inexpensive to brand yourself. And that's how we create all the thumbnails and the graphics and the designs and stuff like that. Canva's been incredible.
Okay, great. And Kevin?
Yeah, I think mine would be, don't get in your own way. Don't find excuses not to do it. I know that there's a huge comfortability on camera situation, right? I'm sure a lot of you can go, great, so video works. I still don't really want to do it, right? So that's okay. That's normal. You're not alone, but don't let that be the reason. Like Melanie, she is not the only case that we have at BombBomb of people going, my business has literally changed because I'm doing video. And so if you want to find the excuses, if you want to find those things that get in the way, you will. There's a lot of other things in real estate you can do, but just do the first video. Just record one video, and all of a sudden you realize, oh, that didn't hurt that bad. And then you'll actually get the response back of somebody going, oh my gosh, that video was great. Then you'll feel real good about that second video. So just you can find the excuses, you can find the hurdles, don't create them for yourself. Just do that first one. And we too, and then I'm happy to stay as long as we need to and answer questions, but BombBomb has a free trial as well. If you want to look into BombBomb with no commitment, no card, nothing, it's a 14-day trial. And you get access to everything. You get the mobile app, you get the Chrome extension, you get all the pieces that we provide. If you want, just go play with it. You don't have to commit to anything. Just go have some fun, play with it, and you never know, you might love it.
Awesome. So we can put a link in that when we send that out, Katie. Katie Shive, do you have anything you want to add? You see a lot of videos as well. Do you have anything you'd like to add? You're on mute. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, really just to echo, I think it's just making the commitment to doing it. And once you commit to doing it, it gets better and better. The more frequent you do it and the more confident you'll be. So just not having excuses and just doing it.
Okay, and if any of you need to reach out to us, we're all here and we're all available. I'd say there's not one of us who wouldn't take a phone call from any of you if you have any further questions. And please share your videos with us. We'd love to see them. And thank you, Melanie and Kevin. You are so great to be such givers. I know you guys don't get anything out of this, so we really appreciate you just giving of your time. That's really kind of you because we really want our agents to succeed. So thank you. And I know I learned a lot, so thank you.
Awesome.
It was my pleasure. Thank you for having us. Thank you, Rice team. You guys have been absolutely wonderful. So thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, bye peeps. Let us know. We'll stay on a little bit if you have any further questions of us. Otherwise, we will see you hopefully soon.